Ever since its introduction in World War II, the Jeep, or the Willys as it was known back then, it's been synonymous for American rough and tumble four-wheel drive off-roading. Frankly, if you want to get off-road, the Jeep is your jam. And today I get to test my mettle out in the wilds of Michigan with the 2016 Jeep Wrangler. But not just any Wrangler, this is the Rubicon. And it's got enough goodies to make off-road dreams supreme. What I really like about the Rubicon is that it comes stock with BFG mud terrain tires. This is a great off-road tire. It's been proven from Baja all the way to Africa. It's going to give you a lot of great performance off-road, and it doesn't give up too much on the road. But these guys come stock with 40 pounds of air, so I'm going to let out just a little bit of air, go down to about 28 pounds. It's going to spread my tire out, give me a little bit of a bigger footprint for even more traction. One of my chief complaints about the Jeep is that it's very difficult, at least in the hardtop, to bring the outside in. The Freedom Tops have no fewer than 8 latches, and I need to use a star wrench to get the door off. Okay, I got all my bolts off. I'm gonna take my door off. Here we go. Oh my God, okay, I got it. Now, you might notice that the mirror's on the door. And while I really like off-roading without any doors, I kind of want to off-road with mirrors. So I think I might go to a aftermarket shop and get new mirrors. Oh my God, this is heavy. Oh my God. The 2016 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon comes with a 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 engine, and that's good for 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. A 6-speed manual is standard, but I've got the 5-speed automatic. Now, word on the street is that we are going to get a diesel Wrangler sometime soon, but has yet to be officially confirmed by my sources. But they already have a diesel in Europe, so my guess is it's coming. So the Wrangler Rubicon has got one thing that makes for an awesome off-road vehicle. Okay, actually it's got 2. No, it's got 3, 4, no, all right, it's got a whole bunch of things. And the first thing is something that all Wranglers have, and that's a solid front and rear axle. And these in the Rubicon are Dana 44s. So they're bigger and they're gonna allow for more articulation than an independent setup is gonna allow for. The second thing it has is a 4-to-1 low gear, which means that my drive shaft is going to turn 4 times for every 1 wheel of revolution. That's going to give me a lot of low-end torque, and paired with the 410 axle gears, man, it just means that I'm going to have so much control when I'm crawling. I've also got front and rear lockers, so I can lock the front wheels together and the rear wheels together, so they'll always be spinning at the same time, and that is great for off-road. Plus, I have a disconnecting front sway bar, so that will give me even more articulation. Now, when you add to that over 42 degrees of an approach angle and a departure angle of over 32 degrees, plus 10 inches of ground clearance, I mean, the Rubicon, just by the specs only, is very, very capable. But here's the thing. You might find yourself getting a little cocky and maybe overestimating your abilities, which I might have done earlier today. So remember, it's a Rubicon, but still not invincible. Some things are better for modified vehicles. But you know, there are a few things that I don't like about the Rubicon. I've talked about the mirrors and I've talked about the top, but you know, you can't really tow with this vehicle. It only takes 3,500 pounds. Now, that's enough to maybe tow a lightweight trailer in my race car, but the enclosed trailer, forget it, it's never gonna happen. Also, there's no backup camera, and this whole interface here is just super old and dated. It took me multiple steps to pair my phone. The GPS graphics are like really, really fuzzy. It's kind of like working with an Atari from the 1980s. It's just bad and needs an update. Now, I do have these larger BFG mud terrains, and that doesn't do good things for your gas mileage while you're on the pavement. Right now, I'm only averaging 15 miles per gallon. Now, speaking of the pavement, you know, it drives like a Jeep, right? It's a little floaty on the road. It's a little rough around the edges. Frankly, I love it. You know, if you want to drive something smooth, just go get a Lexus. So, what's the competition for a Jeep? All right, well, think about it. This is a convertible SUV with a solid front and rear axle. Is there anything else on the market that competes directly? No. Sure, there's a lot of trucks out there like a Toyota Tacoma, a Chevy Colorado, but those have all got an independent front suspension. Maybe you could bring in Land Rover, but those are all independent suspension all the way around. So really, there's just nothing like a Jeep. The Jeep Rubicon starts at $36,495, but with all of my options, which frankly, the only thing I'm really interested in is the 410 axle ratio. With everything, I've got $47,000 in the bag. That's right, $47,000 for a Jeep. But you know, despite all its quirks, I really want a Jeep. I love the feeling of freedom that I get from it, and I feel so crazily independent, maybe even overly independent when I drive one of these things. Plus, when the zombie apocalypse comes, I'm gonna be a survivor. Just me and my Jeep, driving off into the sunset.